This is a great honor for every fan of the Dallas Cowboys. I'm honored to be in the NFL.
What can I say? Mamba out.
What is going on, everybody? Like Kobe Bryant said, Mamba's out, but ESPN is in the building. Happy Monday, presented by Elite Sports and Entertainment Network. I'm your boy, Frankie C., joined by my lovely full house. I got the Gonzo Men's over there, Tony and Chris, Jay McLovin, and Logan Landers. What is going on, everybody?
Hey, doing good, brother. How about you?
I'm doing great. Jay?
Yeah, hey, it's a good day, but it's a somber day for me. Private Celestine, a guy I went to combat with, and several times in Afghanistan. As a young man, he's younger than I am. I think he was probably in his like 30s or 40s by now. Passed away, and we lost another good, brave soldier. And I just want to say a shout out to his family. My deepest of condolences. As a fellow Rakkasan, I know it's always a tough one when we lose a young kid.
I'm sorry to hear that you lost a brother in arms over there. It really sucks. We appreciate everything that you guys do for us overseas and protecting our nation. Thank you very much. And like Jay said, we apologize to the family and we think about you. Tony and Chris, how you guys doing over there in windy Indy?
Doing good, doing good. You got to be doing great, man. New England's on fire.
Hey, we're not going to start it yet, Tony.
We're going to get to that.
It's going good. It's actually kind of nice out today, other than the wind's blowing pretty good. But other than that, it's like 67, 65 degrees, so it's pretty nice.
Yeah, same here in New York. It's about high 50s right now. It's windy as hell. So, you know, we're in the same area, about like 3-4 hours away from me. So it's kind of the same. So yeah, it's we're about to have a nice couple days here. So I'm gonna enjoy it. I'm gonna feel like Jay McLovin. I don't care if it's windy. I'm gonna throw some shorts on. I might get a suntan. The hell with it. Well, let's start this show, boys. Since Tony wanted to start it off, free agency has begun today, where teams are able to go out and talk with unrestricted free agents and get contracts done. They have until Wednesday at 4 p.m. to get these contracts signed. What's bigger takeaway? I mean, we started this weekend, right? We started this weekend. I think it was Saturday, where we saw two crazy. Not even one trade and one crazy signing. We got Davante Adams, who signed with the Los Angeles Rams, which was a shocker to me and I'm pretty sure it was Tony as well, because we both said Chargers, or I think it was Chris. We thought it was Chargers, but hey, we got Los Angeles, right? He ended up going to LA. He went to the other side and went to the Rams. And then you have one of the blockbusters trades this offseason already, with DK Metcalf getting traded to the Pittsburgh Steelers for a second-round draft pick. And he's getting a 6-year contract, $150 million worth, with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Let's start off with that. Chris and Tony, I'm going to take it with you guys.
I like the deal for Pittsburgh. I'm just curious who they're going to bring in as quarterback to lead that team. That's going to be interesting. I like the Metcalf deal a lot for Pittsburgh. But I did hear this morning that some people were questioning whether Pickens is going to stay there. I thought for sure that they would keep both of them together, but maybe Pickens has got more heat than I thought.
Yeah, I think Pickens will end up staying, but no, I think it's a good pickup a great pickup for the Steelers, because they needed another receiver. I mean, every time anybody talked about the Pittsburgh offense, it was they need a number 2 to go with Pickens. Well, now they got basically 2 number 1s. On that offense. I don't know what they're going to do with Najee Harris. But now they basically got to figure out what they're going to do at quarterback. I've heard they've made Fields an offer, but Fields has also taken an offer from the Jets. And then I heard they've shown a lot of interest in Aaron Rodgers as well. So we'll see what they do at quarterback. If they can find a quarterback to get the receivers the ball, that's a good pickup. And then, of course, they have to re-sign T.J. Watt.
Yeah, that is true. Jay, what is your take?
I love Davante Adams going to the Rams.
Yeah, in terms of Metcalf going to the Steelers, I echo the same sentiments as Tony and Gonzo, and I'm sure you as well. It's a good pickup for the Steelers. It's a good, a guy still got a lot of life in him, right? 27 years old. Great wide receiver, strong, physical, quick, good hands. Good overall, good veteran for that team. My only question for that team is, and it's really not, it's going to be Pickens. Can Pickens be happy? Because Pickens wasn't exactly the happiest of people, not getting the rock as much, I think, as he wanted. But I think it really comes down to Pickens. Can Pickens work with DK and be a good teammate and make this duo work? And then again, Sam Darnold's in mixing in the conversations and Rodgers in the conversation. Who's going to throw the ball? Who knows? But I do like it as a good pickup, though. Mm-hmm.
Logan, if you're there, I see that you're muted. What is your take on DK Metcalf and Devontae Adams going to these two teams?
I mean, first off, we'll start off with DK. I like the move from Pittsburgh because, like we said, I mean, they kind of need some more help at the wide receiver position, and they've addressed that issue now. I think Pickens will stay. I know some people said they're going to be fighting the locker room over who's going to be wearing that number, but I don't think that's going to be much of an issue. But for Devontae heading out to Los Angeles, I mean, they just re-signed Matt Stafford. Obviously, you've got two really good players there, so I think that could really work out too. Plus, we don't know if Cooper Kupp is going to stay or not. So if he leaves, then that's a void you can fill there. But if he stays, then that's a really good team, really three-person receiver room with him and Nakua also.
Yeah, I think bringing in Devontae Adams just clearly put it out that Cooper Kupp is not going to be a Ram. I mean, Devontae Adams is more healthier wise than Cooper Kupp. I think they both play in the same type of level at wide receivers. If they were to bring Cooper Kupp back, the NFL better be scared of the Rams because that's a crazy, like Logan said, that's a crazy 1-2-3 wide receiver combo. That's 3 wide receiver ones. And you can't even say who's wide receiver 2, who's wide receiver 3, because these guys can dominate on the field. But a lot has happened. If you guys are in the market right now, if your team is in the market for a QB, just wait. Free agency just hit. No QB has come off the board yet. I feel like every team right now wants to, get other pieces before they go and they get that QB that they want. I know my team right now has been making splashes. I don't want to get fully into it yet. I want to get to the other teams. And I want to pull up the ESPN report. I was about to say ESPN report. Yeah, the ESPN report. Let's pull up the ESPN report.
Hey, Frankie. Well, let's bring in our special reporter here, live from his vehicle. I see our boy Mike Hughes. And Mike, before you say anything, first off, we made this just for you, buddy. We made our disclaimer here.
Oh wow! Hey! I didn't say nothing on this network that justifies this disclaimer.
We just got to cover all of our bases, Mike. We just got to cover all of our bases. But anyways, Frankie, back to you.
Well, since Mike is here, let's get into it, right? We might as well start off with the Chicago Bears since Mike is our special guest. Mike, since the start or towards the end of February into the start of March, your Chicago Bears have went from the bottom top 10 in offensive line, in my opinion, to the top 10 in offensive line, getting 3 great players, 2 via trades and 1 just signing. You guys traded for I forgot the guy's name. I think it was from the
Jackson and Tooney. That's who they brought in.
Yeah, I know Tooney. I didn't know the other guy. And then
Jackson. You guys just Jonah Jackson.
And then you guys just signed the best center on the draft board from the Atlanta Falcons. Tell me what's your what do you think now on the Chicago Bears? Super Bowl contenders?
I mean, it's banging, bro. And that's really I don't remember the offensive line being this good since the Jay Cutler days when you had Roberto Garza, Kyle Long, and them boys. So, it's definitely, 2018 had a couple Pro Bowlers, but fuck that.
Disclaimer.
Sorry. I brought up the double doink. It happens. We still talk about Cody Parkey to this day. I got one more. Fuck that guy. But on a cleaner note, I will say I think it's a huge move for Caleb Williams. I think Caleb Williams being sacked 68 times last year, which is insane to me, especially when your general manager was a former offensive lineman. But it makes sense because he was a former Bears offensive lineman, so he doesn't know what a real offensive lineman should look like. Makes sense. So he's bringing in guys who played like him. So, yeah. But he figured it out. You bring in a guy who's won 4 Super Bowls in Joe Tooney. You bring in a guy who's worked with Ben Johnson in Detroit and was a Pro Bowler in Jonah Jackson. Obviously, Dahlman, from people who watch my show, I've gotten a lot of mixed feelings from like just people in the comments. Some people think it's a major overpay and he's not as good as people think. Other people are really excited about it. Regardless, for me, it's a veteran center at 26 years old who has been there and protected multiple franchise quarterbacks in years past. It's something that needed to happen. You know, you couldn't go in with a rookie center for year 2 of Caleb Williams. It's just not.
Right.
It wasn't possible. And so I love it. We already have Darnell Wright and Braxton Jones on the edges. So your 5 is really there. I think out of all of them, Braxton Jones is the most replaceable. Guy couldn't stop a cold at certain parts of the season, and man just loves the false starts. But you know, I think for me, if I know Frankie hates to say it, but if a Will Campbell is still there at 10 and you could finish that off, I mean, you're in a beautiful spot for the Chicago Bears. And I would even make a point that with what they've already done, you can get an Ashton Genty at number 10 and kind of just do whatever you want to do because you already made these moves. So I love it. We got some hogs. And Caleb, like I said, man, 20 touchdowns, 6 interceptions in 2024. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, and that's getting sacked 68 times. So now I'm really excited about it.
I know you mentioned Ashton Genty, but I know you guys got Swift. Are you not completely sold still on Swift? Is he? Yeah.
You know, you're just really you're trying to get me there.
I am.
You know,
I am
like,
just a little bit.
Logan, can I have one more, sir? Just one?
We're gonna get canceled.
Yeah. DeAndre Swift. Fuck that guy. No. I can't stand DeAndre Swift. DeAndre Swift. He's more of like he's like a slot guy to me. You know what I mean? Like if you ever watched Hard Knocks when they were in Detroit, I remember the running backs coaches would just chew him out 24/7 for not having the vision to see easy holes right in front of him. Pause. But you know, it's just like something about Swift, man. He's fast, he's electrifying, but an every down back, I just don't see it yet. And that's kind of like a David Montgomery, Jahmyr Gibbs type of move, where I feel like a combination of Ashton Genty and DeAndre Swift would be pretty lethal for the Chicago Bears.
You know what? As a person who this past fantasy league drafted and you know sticked with DeAndre Swift, because I said, you know, I'm gonna give the guy some chance. You know, it's a new team, it's early in the season. You know, I'm gonna give him a chance. He didn't do much for me. So I agree with Mike. Screw him. I'm not going to curse because I don't want a disclaimer on my name. But screw him. The heck with him.
Yeah, I don't work here. You can give me a disclaimer. Fuck that guy.
Oh, my God.
I'm not a Bears
Chris,
fan at all, but I love what the Bears are doing right now, and you can see what Ben Johnson is doing with building offensive line. He's trying to build this offense, kind of like what he had in Detroit.
Yeah,
real good offensive line. He'll be able to do his play action and all that stuff. And I agree with Mike. I think with them getting these offensive linemen, it's freed them up in the draft. Now they can go get a dynamic running back to pair with Swift, kind of like the 1-2 punch that he had in Detroit. So, no, I like what the Bears have done so far, and I think Johnson is building the team the right way, starting with the offensive line.
Well, you think it was a smart move for Chicago, right, to go out and get Ben Johnson, an offensive coordinator who was in that division with the Lions. So you know he's seen what was going on with Chicago twice a year. So in his mindset, coming as a head coach for the Chicago Bears, he already knew, listen, we need to get some offensive linemen, and we're not going to get these young guys from the draft to protect Caleb Williams. And Mike over there checking out a woman, obviously. So he goes out and he gets veteran guys, right? So it was a smart move for the Chicago Bears and Ben Johnson. Tony, I want to get your thoughts quickly, Tony, on what do you think? How good has the Chicago Bears made getting these offensive linemen?
Wait, really quick. I gotta go play basketball. I love you guys. Pops, you're my Lord and Savior. I love you so much. Logan, I'm sorry for swearing. I was told by Frankie not to swear, but it's the Bears, baby. So I got to. But I love you guys. I'll see you later.
It's really crazy how much of his nose took up the screen when he got that close.
Yeah, pretty big nose. Got
a honker on him.
Tony, your thoughts on the Chicago Bears and what they have gotten to protect Caleb Williams? Just let's do it quickly because I just wanted to do it because Michael's here, but now he's not here, so we don't care about the Bears anymore.
I really like what they're doing. I think it's smart. I agree with Chris. I think they're trying to go kind of the way of Detroit. I mean, it makes sense to build it that way. I don't know much about their defense. Is their defense going to be? I mean, I think they had a decent defense last year. Do they go a lot of defense maybe in the draft after maybe take a running back? Or what do you guys think?
I mean, I know that they had a pretty decent defense last year, if I'm not mistaken. And we talked about last week the potential reunion of Khalil Mack. That's been squashed now.
Yeah.
But we've seen this offseason the main line of concern was that O-line, which everyone talked about last year. Caleb Williams got sacked the infinite amount of times it felt like, and whenever a player gets sacked, you either say, okay, he's either A, holding on to the ball too long, trying to do too much, or B, it's the O-line. Clearly, the Bears thought it was the offensive line. That's why they've signed all these players, and also like really, really solid players too. These aren't just like backups or anyone like that. These are guys who were starters last year, who they clearly believe could be a better fit for their team. They might have to do some moving around potentially, but I thought Chicago's improved this year, especially on the O-line. So I'm expecting them to be better. And for the defense, I think that they still have a pretty solid defense all in all. But I do expect them to do better this year. I don't think they're going to be nearly as bad as they were, but I still don't see them, being leaders out there in the North. That's still a really tough division, but I do think they are going to be better, at least on paper.
Jay, your thoughts on this O-line?
Yeah, we've all talked about how bad that O-line of Chicago has been for a long time. I mean, Eberflus, all the way back. I mean, it's just been a hot minute. So the fact that they're doing it is good. They're bringing in some good guys. I don't think, I still want to see them be a little bit more younger on that offensive line. The guys they brought in are about in their mid-30s, except for 26-year-old. I think it was Jackson. He might be in the 20s, but they brought in a little bit older guys, which is good because they do need that experience. But they're going to have to draft some offensive linemen, to replace them at some point.
I apologize for the cursing, Jay. I apologize for interrupting you. We have our first big quarterback off the board, ladies and gentlemen. Sam Darnold has signed a contract with the Seattle Seahawks.
Wow.
Darnold is going to Seattle and leaving Minnesota.
Wow.
Thoughts on that? I mean, you're a quarterback that's literally, you don't got Tyler Lockett, you don't got DK Metcalf, you do got Jigba.
Who's he throwing to?
You got Jigba over there. You got Jigba, but like you have to. I mean, wow. This
also, I mean, who's their running back? Is it it's Kenny something, right? Or
Kenny Walker the third.
Yeah, Kenneth Walker the third. Who I think he's a.
But they also got that other kid. Starts with the C. Charbonnet.
Yeah,
Zach Charbonnet.
Charbonnet.
So they have a decent, running game. I'm not saying that's top of the league, but they gotta get. I feel like they gotta get some receivers. Like you said, they got Jackson Smith and Jigba, but I don't really know who else they got. I mean, I really don't. With TK being gone and now Tyler Lockett out of the picture, I don't know who else they got.
Be a perfect place for Cooper Kupp.
That's
Tony.
I didn't expect Sam Darnold. I honestly did not. We've been hearing the rumors that Seattle was looking at Sam Darnold. I didn't expect him to sign there. Like, I expected him in his mind to say, listen, they just got rid of DK Metcalf. Like, why am I going to go to Seattle when I could just, continue on my talks with Minnesota and just go back there, right?
That might have been a financial thing. I wonder how much Seattle give him.
Yep, I got it right here.
What you got?
It's a 3-year deal for Seattle, $110.5 million contract, includes $55 million guarantee.
Wow.
Okay.
I mean, it's not as big of a contract as I thought it was going to be.
A bit less than what I thought.
Yeah, that's a lot less. I'm really surprised what Minnesota was offering him.
It must have been less if Sam Darnold was quick to accept this.
36 something.
That's why. He
That's
got pretty
about-
close to what
that's
Baker
about the
Mayfield. I
right
figured he was
figure.
going to get like the Baker Mayfield deal, and that's pretty close to what he got.
What did Baker
36
get?
million a year.
What did Baker get?
Baker, I think, got like in the 30s, didn't he?
I thought he was like in the 30s. I thought he was in the 40s. I'm not gonna lie.
Hey, Frankie, can I
Wow.
ask? Can I ask Logan a question?
Go ahead, brother.
Yeah, I
What's
want to
up?
ask him how he's feeling about Friday and the move that the Raiders made.
I mean, I see why they got Geno Smith, Tony. Obviously, because he got that connection there with Pete Carroll. So So obviously, I feel like they know each other and they'll implement a lot of the playbooks and whatnot and the style that they ran back in Seattle. But I mean, just looking at it because Geno Smith had a down year last year, but in 23 he was very good. Then I believe he won Most Improved Player, if I'm not mistaken, or some award. But he had a really good year in 23. Bit of a down year last year, and I mean he's 34, so he's not going to be around for a whole lot longer. So it's I feel like I would have rather had Sam Darnold, but I feel that that they went that route just because you have that common factor of him and Pete Carroll. They know each other like the back of each other's hands, I'm sure. So you have that. You can instead of if it's Sam Darnold going in there, you have to learn a whole new playbook, whole new coach, et cetera, et cetera. You get someone who's already been there with Carroll and Smith. So that I think that's the main reason why they went that route. I mean, we talked about even before Geno had signed, we talked about Russell Wilson maybe going there for that same factor. So I'm not, I wasn't surprised by the move, but because it makes sense, as to why they signed him. But I want to go ahead.
Hey, Frankie, just to answer your question real quick. Baker's contract was 3 years for $100 million with $50 million guaranteed. So Darnold got a little bit more than what Baker got.
I mean, those are they're almost identical offers. I mean, give or take $5 million.
I told you he'd probably get close, about the same as Baker. That's what I was figuring.
Yeah.
Do you think
okay, that makes sense. But I really still wonder what Minnesota, because I haven't seen he left Minnesota. So I guess Minnesota's trying to, give him less or didn't even make an offer.
So I guess Minnesota is now content with sticking with J.J. McCarthy, who's coming off of a knee injury.
But are they? Or does it open up a spot for Rodgers? Or does it open up a spot for anybody else that's out there?
They
Wilson, Fields. I mean, those guys aren't fully
They also
started
have Daniel Jones on their roster, which I mean, if you want to start him, hell, go ahead. That's entirely
James Jones isn't on their roster. He's a free agent.
Oh, you're right, yeah. But
Yeah, he
I don't see him starting anywhere.
Tony, were you going to say something a little while ago?
Yeah, I was just going to ask him, does you guys think the Raiders might take a quarterback now, first round?
See, that's tough. That's tough.
What's your pick, Logan?
I think they need to go wide receiver and put somebody opposite of or somebody to add on with Brock Bowers. They really don't have a wide receiver one. They got Jacoby Myers, but really?
That ain't much.
Is it the sixth pick you guys have?
Yep, you're right.
I think if Shadur Sanders is still available, I think if Sanders is somehow available at 6, the Raiders take Sanders and he'll sit behind Smith for a year or two, and that'll be their plan.
I wouldn't, Chris.
I wouldn't either. But I think that's what will happen if he's available.
I think Sanders will probably be taken by New York because they don't have a quarterback right now. Giants ain't got a quarterback.
Well, who's taking Cam Ward? Who do you got taking Cam Ward then?
Not even Jay. Listen, this. Don't get a quarterback in this draft, Logan. If I'm the Raiders, don't get a quarterback. This is not.
I don't think they need one right now.
They need a wide receiver. They need other spots.
They need either a wide receiver. Jay. Yeah, we need either a wide receiver for offense. I'm just talking offense here because I don't think a defensive guy is going to go that high up.
Well, I think
if it ain't Travis, Hunter's not going to be there at 6. But I mean. You might, Jay. We might could still Ashton Genty a little early from y'all, because God knows we need a running back.
That's obviously a good. I mean, that's a possibility too. I don't. I mean, if I'm the Raiders, I'm either doing one or two things. Honestly, I'm either going to trade up to try to get Carter, or I'm going to trade back and try to get a wide receiver. I think that's the way I'm looking at it.
I could see him trading back for a receiver, honestly, because you can get a lot of value
out of it. And on top of that.
Yeah, give me like a second rounder and something else. You know what I mean? Just a little bit. Because, I mean, number 6 still a very good pick. But they don't need a quarterback right now, obviously, since you just signed Geno Smith for, I believe, 3 years, if I'm not mistaken. So he's going to be your guy for at least a couple of seasons. The
Raiders got a lot of needs. You guys got a lot of needs over there.
Oh, for sure.
And I think if I'm them, I'm probably going to trade back, grab me a wide receiver, and try to grab me some other players in the second round, try to get a second rounder out of it, and try to grab something in the second, maybe defense, or whatever the case may be. But what I think mostly, though, is I think Sam Darnold going to Seattle, and I think Geno Smith going to the Raiders is going to be basically exposing them for, are they really a good quarterbacks, or are they just pretending?
And Jay, since you mentioned that, I think a main reason I saw that why Sam Darnold went to Seattle is because Clint Kubiak he was now the offense coordinator in Seattle, used to be in San Francisco when Darnold was there as a backup. So they've already got that connection locked in.
It's
So
going
that
to be
makes
basically the
sense.
same offense.
Mm-hmm. But now you just got to build around it in Seattle. Well, I mean, we'll see obviously what they do. Hell, they could probably do something while we're still in the air, right? With the amount of deals we've seen today. So they could very easily add a couple.
I feel like Geno Smith and Sam Darnold, more Sam Darnold because Geno really got traded, so it's not like he had the biggest of choices. I think more for Sam Darnold in this specific case. You know, they're gonna. I mean, I don't know if I'm Sam. I don't know if I would have left Minnesota. I know he probably wanted that little bit of money that Seattle was going to give him. But I think what he had in Justin Jefferson, Addison, and Hawkinson in that offensive line really was making him look good. Maybe even, and I think when he goes to Seattle, that could expose him and put him back in purgatory. I'm not saying this for him, but he doesn't have a whole lot. I mean, I understand it's Desmond Jigba, but this could backfire on him career-wise.
Well, I don't think Minnesota wanted him back, Jay. I don't think Minnesota wanted him back.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, and you're right because I don't think he had an offer. To be honest with you,
no. I mean, and the main reason, let's not forget, the main reason he started this year is because JJ McCarthy got hurt.
That's the only reason he started because they were going to start McCarthy.
Exactly.
And with Geno Smith, Seattle offered Smith a contract, and he told or an extension. He told him no thanks. He wanted out of Seattle.
It was the same. And I'm glad you said that, Chris. They offered the same contract Sam Darnold just signed with the Seahawks. That was the same offer they offered for Geno Smith.
Okay.
Wow.
He turned it down.
Wow. Hey, also, Jay, go ahead. I want you to address this comment here we got from Joe. Appreciate it, by the way, Joe. He says, if Shedeur Sanders falls to the Cowboys, he would draft him and let him sit and learn from Dak.
What?
Jay, your thoughts? Your thoughts if the Cowboys are somehow able to pick up Shedeur Sanders?
Let me hold on. I gotta myself.
Joe, I love you, man. You're my boy, man. We're fellow Cowboy fans. You know, we've been through the same frustrations for decades. So I'm not gonna come hard on you because I know you're probably in Delusionville like a lot of people are, man. Joe, I love you. Don't take this wrong. I'm not trying to disrespect you. But Bubba, if we get Shedeur Sanders, I swear to you, man.
Oh
this is gonna be me all the time. All the time. For the next 3 decades, this is gonna be me, Joe. It's gonna be you too. And not just gonna be me. You're gonna be right there with, we're gonna be like this. And then people like Gonzo and Tony and Logan and Frankie, we're gonna have to listen to them all the time on that. Do you really want to go through that heartache and pain? No, nobody does. No, nobody.
Also, I just saw an update, by the way, on that Sam Darnold contract. So, per Adam Schefter from 1 minute ago, it's a 3-year, $100.5 million deal that includes $55 million guarantee. The initial report was 110.5, so it's now 100.5 with the same amount of guaranteed money.
And I think in that first year, he's getting paid $34.1 million.
A lot of money.
It's a little. That's a little mind blowing to me. But I want to go back to Joe, and I don't want to go too much on it. But like, what got me on that, Jay, and what made me laugh is the fact that you said, let him learn from Dak. Dak still needs to learn. I'm sorry, and this isn't a knock on the Cowboys or anything like that. Dak's a good quarterback. He can be. We've seen it many times, but he still looked like he needs to learn a little bit. That's just my take. I don't know, Jay, you're a Cowboys fan. You know, you can have a different take. Chris over there shaking his head like, yeah, no, Frankie, you're right. I mean, I don't know.
Here's the thing, right? Look, guys, look, Dak has talent. Okay, if he didn't have talent, he would have thrown for almost 5,000 yards and been in consideration for MVP of the league. I mean, you remember last year that was there.
Yeah,
and then he got hurt and things went left. Whatever. Look, the man is good in the regular season. Yeah, he throws some interceptions here and there. I get it, but they all do. Okay, it happens. Sometimes it happens. But what really concerns me the most with Dak isn't his talent. It's his ability to handle the pressure situations. His ability to be able to perform at the highest of levels. And I'm talking about the playoffs, guys. It's all about the playoffs. Now, not all of that. And I want to make sure we understand this. Not all of Dak's misfortune is all on him in the playoffs. There's a lot of that falls squarely on the coaching and squarely on the execution of other players. I know we saw those 10 penalties that they were having on the offensive line with the false starts and things like that. That's kind of screwed us in that San Francisco game. But there's a lot of problems with that Cowboys, and it's not just Dak. Dak is like everybody else on that team. They need to learn to win in the biggest of moments, and that just hasn't happened for this team. And you can probably start that out right there with the coaching, right there with management.
Hey, Jay, you know what Dak's biggest problem is?
What's that?
Look,
man?
He doesn't have the eye of the tiger.
You know
That's
what?
good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he doesn't have the eye of the tiger. But hey,
Hey,
something good did happen
Hey,
for Dallas
hold
over
on,
the weekend.
Hold on. I gotta go, Jerry
Wait a minute,
Maguire
something
here.
good happened for Dallas over the weekend. Let me finish my point. Something good happened for Dallas over the weekend. Dak Prescott is no longer the highest paid quarterback in the NFL anymore.
That's true.
Now that we actually
He
have
is.
a good quarterback that's the highest paid quarterback in the NFL.
Hey, before we go any further, I wasn't trying to interrupt you, but I had,
I know.
I had to say what I had to say because he used a Jerry Maguire, he used the eye of the tiger, and I'm gonna tell you like old boy told Jerry Maguire, that's my word. I can't say because I'm trying not to cuss, but that's my word. Get that one out your mouth.
He gets so excited. He clips his mic. I love it.
Well, now that Chris
Oh.
mentioned highest paid quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry. I'll be quiet.
Josh Allen has signed a crazy mega deal with the Buffalo Bills, which pisses me off because now I got to deal with this man for another 6
Years.
7 years.
330 mil.
Say it again, Logan.
It's 6 years, 330 mil. I think it's what 250 mil is guaranteed.
Don't matter. He's the richest man ever, and he just got engaged to a beautiful woman and Haley Stein, whatever her name is.
Steinfeld.
Steinfeld. I didn't want to say. I felt like Steinbrenner was going to come out of my mouth. I didn't want to say the wrong name, but he just got engaged to her. So you just win MVP. You just got a crazy contract. You just got engaged. You're about to have a beautiful wedding. This man is set for life. I don't ever see him leave the Buffalo Bills. I don't think he's ever going to leave the Buffalo Bills. So, Mike Vrabel, you need to stack up, bro, because we need to stop this man. He cannot be the next Tom Brady of our division. Okay.
Hey, Frankie, I think that's a good segue into talking about your team because y'all have been busy, man. Y'all have been signing dudes left and right. I mean,
Logan,
oh.
Before you go there, I just want to finish off real quick with Joe because he had put up one more comment before we go on to a new subject and we put this in the background. I just want to say one more thing. Look, here's the thing, Joe. Here's the thing. And I think everybody on this panel will agree with me here. Sanders is all by name recognition, okay? He's related to Deion, and there's a lot of flair. But that man played for Colorado and Jackson State. He ain't really seen no real serious competition to know how good this man is or is not. He could be another freaking Ryan Leaf or Jamarcus Russell for all we know. Do you really want to put all your eggs in that basket? Because it's so Joe that we got big problems, Bubba. We got big problems. We got to make better, sounder decisions and not jump on what looks good on paper. Do you remember Demetrius Underwood? Does anybody remember Demetrius Underwood? That was Minnesota Vikings. Defensive end, great. Had all the talent in the world, but had all these head problems. And Dallas put a flyer on him, too, because he had all the great prospective talent.
The fact that Chris didn't even know for a
seen
minute, and then Chris just looks down to read it, and he just goes, and just starts laughing, just got me.
I honestly hope that happens. I hope that happens because it'll be the funniest thing next year just to listen to Jay the whole season.
Yeah. I seen Nebraska.
Oh, man,
I seen Nebraska.
I like how y'all like watching me, writhe in pain and misery. It really does my heart good. I hope your patients break all their legs. I hope they do. I hope they go out and get Caitlin Clark to represent. Go, Caitlin, by the way. I love you.
Hey,
we got another. Hold on, Tony. I'm gonna let you go.
I seen Nebraska.
Jay, Tony, hold on. I'm gonna let you go. I don't want to interrupt you, Tony. I'm sorry. Justin Fields reached an agreement, 2-year, $40 million deal, includes $30 million guaranteed to the New York Jets. Go ahead, Tony. I'm sorry.
Wow.
They said he was going to go to the Jets, and now I think Rodgers goes to the Steelers.
I do too now.
Real quick, Jay.
But have you ruled out Minnesota? Then, is that off your radar?
I think he goes to Pittsburgh. I think he'd rather go to he'd be Pittsburgh or Minnesota would be his top two choices now, I think, over the Giants because they're better teams.
Yeah. I agree.
Jay, to piggyback on what you're saying about Sanders, what you were saying about Sanders is I watched Nebraska, who was maybe at best a middle row of the team in the Big Ten. At best, I think they were 6-5, 6-6, 7-6, whatever. Completely destroy Sanders. I mean, just Sanders looked like he's little league football. I mean, and Nebraska wasn't that good of a team. And so that tells you right there, Sanders ain't been playing the competition.
Right.
Don't get me wrong. I hope the kid comes in and I hope he kills it. I hope he comes in as the best player in the league. But I don't have faith in that. To me, he's a third round pick. He should be in the third round, not first. That's just my decision, my opinion.
When we were talking about Sam Darnold going to the Seahawks, I wanted to throw that out there that now that we saw the one quarterback get taken off quickly, are we going to see all these other teams starting to go out and get these quarterbacks? And we already seen in like a half hour, 40 minutes, 2 big quarterbacks going off the board. Sam Darnold to the Seahawks, and now Justin Fields, 2 years, $40 million contract, 30 of it guaranteed to the New York Jets. And before I let anybody go, I just want to say, I am sorry to Justin Fields, because you are going to a trash team. You're going to get eaten up. This is nothing a knock on Justin Fields. I hope that after these 2 years with the Jets, you finally open your eyes and you realize, listen, I can't be here. Let me get the hell out. But sir, welcome to the bottom of the barrel.
But the crazy thing is, Frankie, is that Fields chose the Jets over the Steelers because the Steelers had offered him a contract.
Yep. But
That was a dumb move on his part.
But yeah, he was still kind of upset about last year about getting benched in the middle of the season for Wilson. So yeah, he chose to leave the Steelers. So that's even
low. But he goes to the Jets. He gonna live in a permanent state of upsetness. Yeah, that's a dumb move on his part. I mean, really.
I'm about to say, so I mean, the Jets they don't got much, right? They got Garrett Wilson, right? Great receiver. Who's their running back? Is it still Breece Hall? He's still there?
Yeah, Breece Hall. Yeah, they got. Well, as long as he stays injury free, it'd be Breece Hall. Then they got some other scrubs behind him.
And their defense fell off a cliff once Solid got fired.
Oh yeah.
I mean, so they got a lot of holes they got to fix.
Well, not only that, not only that, Logan. Don't forget, Sauce Gardner got hurt last year as well. So
Also true.
You lose your top defensive player. You lose your head coach who's actually a defensive mind. Who, by the way, went back to San Francisco. Nobody mentioned that. That's the real. Okay, you get fired from San Fran, or no, you move on to get a head coaching job from San Fran. You go right back to San Fran. Stupid idea, but you lose Sauce Gardner. But Sauce Gardner will be there. I expect the Jets defense to be okay with Sauce Gardner coming back. But listen, I'm going to say it like I say it every time. It does not matter who's the quarterback on the Jets. The Jets are the Jets. They're going to be trash. I don't know why they're called the Jets. They should just call themselves the Crash. All right, the New York Crashes, because that's all they do is crash every year. This is insane. And when you call yourself a Jet, you're up high, flying fast, right? Nah, they don't do that over there in Jersey.
And also, let's not forget this too. Another factor in that team, Morgan Moses went to a division rival.
Yes.
Frankie, he's going to be on your offensive line now instead of out there in New York. So that's another piece that the Jets are going to have to fill. But it's going to be, I think, tough sledding for Justin unless they really start getting busy here soon out in New York. But I'm glad he's going to be a starter somewhere, because that's all everyone's been talking about the last couple of years is give him time. Give him time. But I want to turn this around now to everyone is saying that Aaron Rodgers is going to head to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Okay. Well, let's not forget there is also another quarterback still looking to find a home. What about Russell Wilson?
Yeah.
I mean, because if he doesn't go back to Pittsburgh, what's really left? I mean, there's not a whole lot of open spots.
He's going to go to the
New York
Giants.
Giants.
I think if I was Rodgers, I would be trying to do everything in my power to get signed on with Minnesota. Yes, they're following the same steps as Brett Favre, but at the same time, Brett Favre didn't have a team like this. And I think the team that Minnesota has with that line, with the coaching, with the receivers, Aaron Jones reuniting, a good defense. If Aaron Rodgers ever wants to get back to the Super Bowl, that really is his best opportunity. And I think Russell Wilson has a great connection out there with, the Steelers. And I think that really is the best spot for him. And if they're smart, each franchise would sign those two guys.
Jay, I love you. I'll always love you. But don't ever say Aaron Rodgers, if you want to go back. Aaron Rodgers is never going to go back to the Super Bowl.
I don't know. I think if you put him in the right situation with the right O-line, I think he has a little bit left in there to get it done. You know,
I don't
did-
think Minnesota would do Rodgers though, because I think they're set on that they're going to go with McCarthy because that was their plan last year. They want to start him on his rookie contract. I think they might bring in. You might see him bring in a veteran guy to be a backup. I don't think they're going to bring in a guy to start.
They might re-sign Daniel Jones, which I hope they do because I don't want Daniel Jones on the damn Colts.
Well, Gonzo,
Hey, Frankie.
let me ask Gonzo this, and Tony as well. Both of you guys, really. How good do y'all really think McCarthy is? Like, do you think this guy is going to be good, or do you just think he's a serviceable backup? Because that's the way I feel about him.
I have no idea. I mean, he was
He
okay.
played a snap.
He was decent in college, but I don't know in the NFL. I don't know. They're
Oh,
high
this is
on him.
perfect. This is for you Colts fan down there. I'm sorry,
There you
Tony.
go.
I don't mean to cut you off, but this is for Tony and Chris. I want to get your thoughts because we haven't heard much of Colts making a splash. The Colts have signed former Viking safety Cam Bynum to a 4-year, $60 million contract.
Wow. Okay.
I like that pickup. We need a corner and a safety. So we definitely need secondary.
Okay.
There you go.
Go ahead. Finish talking, Chris.
Oh no, that was all I was saying. Was we definitely need a secondary.
Yeah, I
Tony.
like that pickup.
Okay.
Yeah, I was hoping we might go after the guy from the Eagles, Slay, but
Darius Slay actually signed with Minnesota.
did he?
I think. Oh no. He signed with
That's a
Pittsburgh.
good pickup.
No. Yeah, he
Pittsburgh.
just signed with Pittsburgh.
That's a good pickup.
That's a good move.
Yeah.
Good move.
Is Bradbury still available?
Yeah.
I believe so.
Jay,
Yeah.
your Cowboys made a sign today. Not no free agent signing, but they re-signed long snapper Trent Seg.
I just laughed at him.
Make some moves, Jerry. Come on. We don't need no long snappers.
No, I'm glad you said that. No, seriously. Because Dak restructured, CD restructured. We should have enough money to start making some moves. And I'm really surprised that the Cowboys haven't made any moves. They've had plenty of time to evaluate the guys that are out there. Why are we not making moves? No, seriously, why are we not? It doesn't make
They're
sense.
going all in. They're going all in.
The fact that Jay is stressing out so bad, like he's trying not to show his stressness, but you can hear it in his voice, like he took a pay cut. Why are we making moves? Like I just want Jerry to just get one good move to get me happy this offseason. Instead, you re-sign your long snapper.
Hey, Jay. I will say, y'all need some help on the D line, right?
Yeah, we do. We do.
You know who just got cut today? Who you could pick up?
Who's that?
Come down south, pick up Grady Jarrett. He just got released today.
They don't have enough money for him.
Well, we have money. I just don't know if
Jay. Now listen to me on this. Okay.
We don't have a lot of money.
Listen to me on this. You don't have a lot in cap space. You do have money, and I see what Jerry Jones is doing. Right? You could do one or two things. You can do pick up what you can with the money that you got, or restructure the contract of main players that's going to become free agents next year. Because you have a lot of top tier name players, Ferguson.
I'll tell you right now. No, I'm glad you said that because you know who I want to restructure right freaking now is DeMarcus Lawrence, D-Law.
Not Micah Parsons.
Well, Micah's up for a contract. He's not going to restructure. He's up. I think he's up, isn't he?
I think he's going on his last year, so you can get him a contract next year, depending on what your salary cap looks like. But
yeah,
but like, what
I
do
don't
you
think
think?
he's the one we got to worry about right now. The one we need to worry about is DeMarcus Lawrence, who really has not given us anything since he got that big over $100 million contract. He hasn't given us much of all. So I'd like to see him restructure or cut one way or the other. I'm ready to move on.
Frankie, I got some news here, and it also looks like this does affect the Colts not gaining a player, but now losing a player.
Yep.
And he's going to our boy Mike Hughes. So we pulled up on the screen here. The Bears, they are now giving edge rusher Deo Ojinobi a $16 million per year deal, $32 million guaranteed. He's now leaving the Colts, heading out to Chicago with the Bears in our latest move.
And what's weird and what's crazy about that is we just asked when we were talking about the Bears, what do they do now? Do they go defense? And Tony said that too. I heard Tony say it.
Yeah.
He's like, do they focus on defense during the draft? And boom, they just got a veteran defender from the Colts. What's your feeling on this, guys? You guys are Colts fans.
I thought he was going to be gone. I thought he was gone, so I'm not surprised.
He's a good player, though. I mean, that's going to be a good pickup for the Bears to help their defense. But with what we had, I thought he was going to be gone as well because with Franklin and them other guys, what they've been playing, and then we drafted that rookie last year on the defensive right there as well. Was it Latu?
Yeah,
whatever. So
yeah, Latu.
Yeah, so I figured he was going to be a guy that we were going to lose.
So the full terms for that deal, by the way, is going to be a 3-year contract for $48 million. That's how long he's going to Chicago for. So I mean, Frankie, we haven't talked about the Patriots yet, but right now the Bears are kind of competing neck and neck in terms of signings, at least.
I'm not caring about the Bears.
I know, but I'm just saying they've redone their entire O-line basically. And now they're starting to build on the defensive side, so that's what they're doing. But you guys have kind of picked apart each a couple positions. You got a couple, I think, a linebacker, got a guy on the O line. I mean, if you just talk about all the moves y'all have made today, really in the last day and a half.
Yeah, let me start off with the names. All right, we picked up one of your boys, Logan. Free. What is it?
Is it Trevon Moehring?
No, it's free agent linebacker Robert Spillane.
Oh, Spillane. Yes.
We reached a contract with him for 3 years, $37 million. I think that's a great pickup. We definitely needed it on the defensive side. We also, over the weekend, got what's his name? Harlan from Tennessee. He was a free agent. Reuniting him.
Harold Landry?
Yeah. We
you got their talk that guy.
Reunited him with Mike Vrabel. We signed former Dolphins Lions cornerback Carlton Davis III, which for a 3-year, $60 million contract. I absolutely love this. You team him up with Christian Gonzalez. This is a guy who actually balled out last year for the Detroit Lions. So you got 2 of the top 5. I saw it earlier, in quarterbacks ratings. Christian Gonzalez and Carlton Davis are on the top 5. So you got those 2 as teammates at cornerback. It's going to be an absolute blast to watch these guys play, and I hope they put the nerves on some quarterbacks in the league to be scared to throw the ball, but we'll see how that ends up. Then the Patriots ended up I remember putting that out on Facebook, and then Tony, I saw you like it because I ended up saying, finally we're getting some defensive pieces, but now let's focus on offense. And I asked for that, and I got it received. And it was earlier when Logan said it. The Patriots went out and they got a rival from the New York Jets in signing veteran offensive tackle Morgan Moses to a $24 million contract worth 3 years. That was a piece that we needed to, start protecting Drake May. So I like that pickup. Now you can go into the draft with the number 4 pick and decide that do you want to get a Will Campbell and beef up that offensive line now. And start right now looking at wide receiver positions, because I still think we should get one. There's a bunch of wide receivers on the market, so I think the Patriots should go and get at least one, maybe a Tyler Lockett or a Cooper Kupp. Make a trade with the Rams and get Cooper Kupp or something, because he's only going to be worth like, a 5th or 6th round pick, so you might as well do it. And then just recently, the Patriots, which was mind-blowing to me because it was known around the league that defensive tackle Milton Williams was actually having an agreement with the Carolina Panthers. And the Patriots came from behind and signed Milton Williams, defensive tackle, it was between the Patriots, the Panthers, and the Cardinals. And the Patriots were the ones that offered more, obviously, because we got the money. It's going to be a deal that no year specific yet, but it's going to be worth up to $26 million a year. So Milton Williams was like, the hell with Carolina. I don't want to go to Carolina. I'd rather go to New England with Mike Vrabel. And we ended up getting him. So that was a good snag for the Patriots, and we're waiting more to see with what the Patriots would do.
Hey, Frankie, on that Milton Williams, what was crazy about that? Schefter was on Pat McAfee's show, and they broke that he was going to Carolina. Then a few minutes later, Rappaport was on Pat McAfee's show and said that deal's not done. That deal's not done yet. And then although about a couple hours later, he's going to New England, and that's kind of what Rappaport was saying all there. So, yeah, it was funny because he was like, "That deal's not done yet." Pat was like, "Wait a minute, Schefter said that deal was done."
I love it. I love it. And this is what's crazy about it, right? Chris is like, yes, this is where it starts. And yes, agents and players can talk with teams and stuff like that. They can agree on a contract, but the contract's not signed until Wednesday. So you can agree on it, but change your mind and say, nah, you know what? I'm not going to do that. I'll call back. Let's go somewhere else. So like, that's what's really, messed up about it. But it's fair game, baby. You don't got the money, Carolina. We do. All right. He wants to go somewhere where he can get money and we can give it to him. I want the Patriots to just, you're adding the pieces in defense. You're adding them in defense, and it's good that you're adding them in defense because right now we already got signed 4 defensive key players: cornerback, defensive tackle, linebacker. Good. Now you got your offensive tackle. Good. Keep going on the offense. You see what Chicago's doing. You see what Detroit has done. You see what Philly's doing. You got to buff up the offensive linemen. They're still top players out there on the market offense. I feel like you could get another tackle or something, do that, get a backup center because who knows how long David Andrews got. I don't know. The man is always unhealthy. So how long does he got? Get somebody in there to learn from him. I need the Patriots to do more. I'm liking what we did now, but I need more offense. I need more freaking offense, guys.
Hey, Frankie, I've got a question for you. I got a question for you, Frankie, and I got a question for everybody. First of all, just with the moves that Patriots have made so far, and let's say that would be all the moves they've made, what would be your hopes of the record for the Patriots next year?
It depends. I gotta probably wait until after the draft as well, Tony, because I want to see what the Patriots are gonna do. What are they gonna do with the number 4 pick? How many wide receivers do they get? Are they getting good wide receivers, or how many offensive linemen? I gotta wait until after the draft, and then I gotta see who we're playing and when we're playing. Right? I know we're playing decent teams, and I know we're playing some excuse my language, some shitty teams. But I got to see when they're playing them, right? Are we starting the season off playing these dominant teams, or are we going to end the season off with the dominant team? I'm not sure. So maybe after the draft, I'll get more into it. But as it looks right now, if I have to guess, because of the way the offense is looking, defense is phenomenal. Defense is looking great. But the way the offense is looking, I'm going to have to say probably 5 wins. 5 wins for the Patriots, maybe 6. Not really much.
Frankie, I just want to put this out there, and I told you, I said, you got an ass load of money to spend. You do, but you have to spend it the right way. And SI.com gave Milton Williams pickup an F, and here's the reason why. They say while Williams is a good player, he also benefited from playing in the elite situation next to Jalen Carter, Josh Sweat, and Nolan Smith. Now he's the star of the show up front for New England. And in 2024, Williams totaled 5 sacks after having just 6.5 total in the previous 3 seasons. While Williams has long been a solid player, the Patriots are paying him more annual money than anybody in NFL history at that position. And I think what they're saying is you overpaid. Do you feel like you overpaid for what you got?
No.
Or do you think you're misappropriating money over there?
No.
Okay.
I don't think so. You want to know why? Because I don't care about what that guy say. Obviously, he probably is not a New England fan, or he's probably not a Milton fan, right?
So he can say whatever. I'm asking you from an unbiased
I know.
standpoint.
I know. And I'm telling you, I don't care what that guy said. As a Patriot fan, I think it's a great pickup. You're getting a Super Bowl champion. You're getting a piece that you need really well. And also, Jay, these are 2 different coaching staffs. All right. What he did in Philly is not what he's gonna do in New England, right? I mean, so this is 2 different coaching staffs. He can have whatever he had in Philly. That's his Philly record. You're coming to New England on a new offensive line coach. You're coming with a new offensive coordinator, a new head coach. You're gonna learn a whole new system. Well, who says he can't be beast and not give up 1 sack, right? I mean, it's 2 different systems.
I mean, I think he's a good player, but I do think, and I hope that you have it, but I do think you guys overpaid for that. I think you could have got him cheaper. Yeah. We'll see.
Jay,
We will see.
you might not know this because you're always in the bottom with cash space, but when you got money, you spend that
Yeah.
money, baby.
Well, yeah, I know. Hey, you ever heard that? Hey, hold on. You ever heard the saying, "A fool and his money are soon parted"? I'm just saying. Don't be next year's Bears. Not trying to be
Hey,
alive.
speaking
Yeah.
of the Bears, hey guys,
Don't
you
be
think
ne-
the
Jay,
Bears
don't
are a
be next
playoff
year's
team next year?
Ooh, playoffs. Playoffs.
Playoffs.
Oh
You
man.
think with the moves they've made, do you think they're a playoff team?
Who? New
At
England?
best, wild card.
Who?
The
The
Bears.
Oh, I think they're playoff team for sure. I do think they're that.
You got division, or you think they're getting wild card?
I think Minnesota takes a step
I'm
back.
gonna say wild card. I don't think they're up there yet with Detroit, but also we don't know
Yeah.
yet because they just lost.
It's
their
unproven.
offense.
It's hard to say that because it's so
That's
unproven.
what I'm saying. That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. But at the end of the day, Detroit owns that division, Jay. Right? Detroit owns
Yeah,
that division. They
yeah.
won it. So you can't
Yeah.
can't say Detroit's not going to win that division. I'm saying what I'm saying is they can catch up to Detroit because they just lost their offense and defensive coordinator. So that's going to be something to look at. What's the offense going to look like? What's the defense going to look like? Then you got Minnesota, who was in second. They just lost Sam Darnold. What is that going to look like with JJ McCarthy? So now we're seeing what
Tony was saying, that they will most likely could possibly take a step back, depending on who their signal caller is. Can he keep them where they are?
Exactly. So with that, we have to wait and see. But with what is looking like right now and what the moves that the Bears are making and what the other teams happen over there, because Detroit's also losing players, not just their coaches. They're losing players as well.
Yeah.
I think Chicago, if they can protect Caleb Williams, which they might look like because they got some veterans on their line now, they might do something finally.
I think
They could.
I think if they make the play, I think if they do make the playoffs, it'll be a wild card because, like you guys mentioned, that division, you got the Lions, but you also have the Green Bay Packers, who are a pretty good team as well in that division. So I mean, the Bears could still end up being maybe the third best team in that division. So I think if they do make the playoffs, they're going to be a wild card team. To me, until I kind of lean that they're not going to make the playoffs just because I'm not a big believer in Caleb Williams. But if he develops like people think that he can, they'll be a playoff team. But I think they'll be short of the playoffs this year.
I would have said Green Bay also, Chris, but I didn't mention them because like Christian Watson, he's always hurt. DJ, they got players that always gets hurt. I would have mentioned them too because I love Jordan Love's my dude. I love Jordan Love. Like he's a beast. But he can only be a beast when his wide receivers and his weapons are out there.
I think Detroit definitely takes a step back. I mean, you look what happened to Philly when they lost both their coordinators. They took a step back. So I think Detroit takes a step back. They still think they're going to be a very good team. I'm not saying they're not going to. I'm not saying they're not going to win the division. I think they are going to take a step back too. And I think the Bears have a good shot to make the playoffs. And like Chris said, he's not a firm believer in the Bears quarterback. With Johnson coming in.
Here's the thing, though, guys.
Hold on, Jay. Jay, hold on. Let Tony finish.
You're all right, man. With Ben Johnson coming in, if the quarterback don't step up, he's getting close to the end of his rookie contract. He won't be there. I think that if he doesn't have a good year next year, I think the Bears might move on from him.
No, I just wanted to say, I know you guys were saying Caleb, because I do want to make sure we're accurate. I mean, the guy put up 3,500 yards, 17th in the league, 20 touchdowns, 15th in the league, 6 interceptions, 78th in the league. And he does have a QBR of 46.7. So there are some glaring issues, but, dude, that 20-6 ratio, I mean, that's a good ratio given the fact that he didn't have much.
Yeah, that's a good ratio. But the 80 sacks that they gave up, probably about 50% of those is because of him holding on the ball too long.
And that's a good point. I mean, is there development for Caleb? For sure there's development.
And I'll be honest with you, Jay, the reason I'm not a big believer in him is I watched him in college play against Notre Dame, and they had him mentally broke in the first quarter, and he couldn't recover from it. And
that was a game. Chris, that was a game he went crying to his mother, right?
Yep.
I think it might have been.
It's not, I'm not saying jokes. I remember seeing
Here's
that.
the deal.
He legitimately asked him, yeah.
Shouldn't have been the first choice. I think Jaden Daniels has proven beyond a doubt that he really was the number one choice. I do think, though, that the Bears can do something with Caleb. But, again, this team has a lot of unknowns, right? But I like the way Ben Johnson is doing this team. It's going to be interesting to see if Ben Johnson can translate from being a hellified offensive coordinator to being a hellified head coach. I do think he's doing the right things. I think he's addressing, like to your point, got 50 sacks. That offensive line was a huge part to address, and I think he's doing that. But we'll see.
Hey, and we got some more, some late breaking news here. Wide receiver Dyami Brown, who was with the Washington Commanders, he's now went to the Jacksonville Jaguars. 1 year deal, $10 million. Could be up to $12 million with incentives.
Logan, I don't mean to be rude.
What?
I don't mean to be rude, but nobody cares about this. You want to know why? Because nobody knew him. When you pulled this up, Logan, in my head, I'm like, who the hell is that? I'm glad you said Washington Commanders, because he obviously didn't have playing time, bro. You just signed a 1 year deal for $10 million. That could have been up to 12. Like, congratulations, I guess. I mean, you're going to the Jaguars. I guess.
The Jaguars didn't sign a lot of dudes this offseason. They signed a bunch of guys.
Really,
Hey, they can pay me $10 million for 1 year. I'll be good.
No, I'll be good too, but I'm like, be real about it though. Like the Jaguars, you just let go Christian Kirk to get this guy. Like, who is this guy? What's his stats? Like, are you kidding me?
I'm glad you asked.
Evan Ingram. This is just mind blowing to me. I'm sorry. Like, congratulations, you're rich. You got $10 million for 1 year.
I've got his stats here. If I can just get the other tab pulled up here. Hold on. This past season, in 16 games, he had 30 catches for 308 yards and a touchdown.
Oh my God, no way! And this is the guy that they bring in for Christian Kirk. Oh my!
Those were all career highs.
Which, by the way, I want to applaud the Texans, though. I thought Christian Kirk pickup was good for them to pair alongside Tank Dells and Nico Collins. So,
my God. The content focus on AEW that they don't even know what they're doing in the NFL. Like,
hey, Frankie.
I'm going
to take a slight detour here. I'll take a slight detour. Hold on, fellas. We got some baseball news that just broke.
Oh, nobody cares. Don't even talk about the Dodgers. Don't bring it up. Nobody cares. Get it off the screen right now. Get it off the screen. Deport him right now. He's not even American.
Hold on, real quick.
That's not a disclaimer. This is the president of the United States.
That's a huge disclaimer.
Dave Roberts has been extended by the Los Angeles Dodgers 4 years, $32 million for the reign of terror that could continue. So just want to throw that one in there to break the monotony of all football talk.
Insane.
So I love the baseball news.
Hey, Logan,
how many of it is deferred?
Defer that contract for?
Yes, right. It's a 4 year deal. I bet you it's a 10-year contract. Unbelievable. All the money they spend on these players, they got enough to even give this guy 4 years for $34 million. That's insane.
Well, it's deferred. It's deferred.
It's deferred. Yeah.
It's deferred for 10 years.
We have another. Wow, this is a good one. Oh my God. So Jay, you have been going on about how the Bills need a wide receiver. They should get DK Metcalf. They should get Devontae Adams. Former Chargers wide receiver Josh Palmer has just signed with the Buffalo Bills. 3 year deal worth up to $36 million with $18 million guaranteed.
I mean, he's not number one, but I mean, it's good depth. What was he at? Last year, I'm getting the stats pulled up here. 39 catches, 584 yards, 1 touchdown, but he did average 15 yards per catch.
Well, this tells me, guys.
Threat. So you got what? Him and you got Shakir. Who else do they got over there?
You got Shakir. You got Palmer. Yep. And I don't know who the other one is.
Oh, they got that rookie guy. Damn it. He's pretty decent.
It begins with a C. Nobody cares. Nobody cares about the Bills.
I can't think of his name, but yeah.
Yeah.
Like, don't we still have Kincaid as a tight end?
Dalton Kincaid, yes.
Kincaid is still there.
But this just goes to show me that they're not going to bring back Amari Cooper. So now where's Amari Cooper going to go?
If anywhere, it's going to be cheap because Amari's old at this point.
Keon Coleman.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I knew it begins with a C.
Coleman. That's right.
Hey, Logan.
Where does Cooper go at this point? Honestly,
I mean,
I don't know.
Call me
I'd take him
crazy.
with the Colts.
Yeah, Chris, I'm not gonna lie, and Logan was saying, oh, he's old or whatever. I will take Amari Cooper in a heartbeat right now. Like honestly, I'm not even like to get me happy. Go get Amari Cooper. At least I know that there's somebody out there that.
Perine
will
was
go to.
there.
Yeah, he wouldn't be
Samaje
number one.
Perine.
He wouldn't be
Yeah,
a
you don't
number
have-
one, but he would be. He'd be. I mean, you have him to the Colts. Give us some good depth at wide receiver.
Ooh, the hell with this one, Logan. I got a better one for you. You ready?
But hold on, real quick.
Real quick.
I can understand why P. Ryan went or left to Chiefs because now that Hunt is there and you got Pacheco, it almost kind of made him expendable at that point.
Hold on.
Yep.
Hold on. Another one. Former Philadelphia
Yes.
Eagle and defending Super Bowl champion Josh Sweat has signed and reached a deal 4 years worth up to $76.4 million with $41 million guaranteed to the Arizona Cardinals.
Ooh, Arizona coming into play.
Austin will be happy about that.
Wow. Well, I mean, I know they have some money to play with, so that makes sense. But man, wasn't expecting Arizona to be playing like that. Okay. I mean, look, we knew he was going to get paid after the Super Bowl,
Man, you
but
just won a Super Bowl. Why are you going to the worst team? You going to the Cardinals?
Frankie,
Why?
money. I can tell you why.
Because of the money.
Look at the money. He just got
41 of
paid.
the guaranteed.
And the weather, money and the weather.
What the hell with
Hey,
the
please-
weather, Chris? They play in a
Like, down there.
dome. They play in a dome, Chris. The hell with the weather.
Dry heat.
He said the weather. I mean, you play in a dome. Yeah, the weather's good over there.
That's what I'm saying. He can golf year round. He can do whatever he wants in the off season when he's in Arizona.
I got good script there.
Damn right.
Now we have to look at the Eagles because they just lost. They just lost Milton Williams to the Patriots, and now they just lost Josh Sweat to the Cardinals. What are they gonna look like?
I love it. I hope the Eagles burn in hell.
Hold on.
Logan, that's a disclaimer.
I'm pulling it up. Hold on.
That's
Here
a
we go.
disclaimer.
Yeah. There we
Everyone's
go.
getting disclaimers
I
today.
made, just so y'all know, I made this earlier today, and I used it probably 30 times in our first show.
Hey, I hope somebody clips the wings on them Eagles.
All I know is Tony and Chris better end the show on a disclaimer. If everyone's getting disclaimers,
If we sign Daniel Jones before the show's over, I'll probably get banned from the show.
Yeah, we're gonna be bringing him back. That'll be it for Tony.
Yeah, probably over. I'll probably become a Bears
Right
fan.
now.
Okay, I'm kind of confused by this one here. This is a pretty big money deal.
Jones.
Hold on.
oh, he's about to pull up the Daniel Jones to the Colts deal. I didn't get it
No,
yet.
it ain't Daniel Jones, but it's the Broncos. They've
yeah,
signed
I was looking at it.
Talanoa Hufanga, a 3-year contract worth $45 million with $20 million guaranteed.
The hell is this guy?
He's he's from the San Francisco.
But he doesn't have really any impressive, like, he must have been hurt last year. He only played in 7 games.
See,
But-
me and Jay are the same. Jay's like, who the hell is that guy? I was the same way with
Yeah,
the
so
Jaguars.
he
like,
had,
Hey, look,
he had
you
what?
guys got the last name of Hufanga. I'm just saying. I think we're making up names now. I'm just
Oh,
saying.
man.
That can't even be a real name.
he's obviously Hawaiian, Jay. That's a Hawaiian last name.
He was a 1st-round pick a 5th-round pick in 2021 out of USC.
He said we just making up names now. Like he's Hawaiian. That's his name.
He's got 7 career interceptions. He had 38 total tackles last year in 7 games. 20 solos. Still a good bit of money though.
I'm
I mean,
I'm just saying some of these names are crazy. Like, I've never even heard of this. I mean, honestly, and I'm not saying I'm out of the loop, but I've never heard of this guy. Has anybody heard of this? I mean, I guess Frankie. I guess
no,
you
I'm
did.
not.
yeah, I've heard of him because my father-in-law is a 49ers fan. So I sit down and watch some 49er games with him and stuff like that when he puts
So
on
he-
bets and parlays.
Hufanga. What the world?
Joe said, you pay me all that money, I'll play behind the McDonald's park.
I think the 49ers. I think the 49ers will get the other Bosa.
Yeah,
Joey?
that's still a big name out there.
That's
Where's
the next
Joey?
big domino.
Yeah, but is it worth it? Is it worth it? Because I mean, Joey
Yeah.
Bosa is always hurt. He's always hurt.
I hope the New England Patriots grab Bosa. Oh, I hope they do.
We're
I'm
not,
afraid to
obviously.
be-
If we were, we would have done it already. But we already filled in that spot. We're not gonna. Mike Vrabel, no, he's not gonna spend money on someone who can't stay healthy. There's a
Hey,
reason why
Frankie,
the Chargers.
a little bit of insight as to maybe why Josh Sweat signed with the Cardinals. Let's not forget Jonathan Gannon, the former defense coordinator, is in Arizona now.
Well, Logan,
Yeah.
So you've
let's
got
not
that
forget.
connection.
Let's not forget, Logan. He has until Wednesday to sign that contract. So New England, bump up that pay for Josh Sweat.
he said, "Hey, bring him here."
Bump
We
up
still
that
got a
pay.
real good defensive player out there from the Bengals, that Allen.
What,
Oh,
draft, what draft pick does the Patriots have?
4.
what are you gonna go with at this point? I know you say
I
you want
want to
offensive.
go. I want to. If Travis Hunter is still available, get him. Right?
You
You don't need to put
it.
it
Wait, where are you
What
drafting
if,
him again?
4.
Number
What if
4,
Carter's available? Would you?
Abdul Carter.
I mean,
I
If he's
go
available,
Carter
you
to
take him,
That's a
right?
good one. But he's got that foot issue though.
I can see
Yeah,
it.
but you can.
I don't think
Yeah.
he's a running back, correct?
No, he's defensive guy.
I don't want
man.
that
What you smoking over?
I don't
there?
want that.
That's the damn
No,
draft
because
pick.
I'm thinking about the running back from Boise State. That's why.
Okay. No,
You
you
want
think
Ashton Genty?
Yeah, Ashton Genty. That's what I'm
Dude,
thinking.
this guy could be a pass rusher. Like he could be like one of the top guys in the league. At
Oh, yeah.
pass rushing.
I mean,
Oh.
I would have to accept it, Chris. But my main focus right now is showing to me today with all the signings that the Patriots did on defense that they're not going to go defense in the draft, right? So my main focus right now is get help for Drake May, get Will Campbell, a rookie
That'd be a good
offensive
pick,
line.
too.
I feel like you got to get an offensive line who can stay with Drake May for the next 5-10 years. You know, they build up a connection and it helps out. You got to do
I mean, that
something
really
like
is your
that.
biggest need, right?
Hey, that'd be a good pick.
Is that O line?
Yeah.
Hey, also just real quick. Hey, Joe, you say you pay me all that money, I'll play behind McDonald's parking lot. This is going to be a head scratcher for I think everyone in here.
What were you going to say?
It's not a big name, but look how much money this dude's getting paid. Former Jaguars tight end Luke Farrell has reached an agreement with the 49ers, 3-year contract worth $20.25 million with $11 million guaranteed.
Yeah, that's because he's related to Will Ferrell. That's why. Chris, what were you going to say to me? I thought you were going to say something earlier before Jay
No.
cut you off.
I don't think so.
CJ,
If I was, I forgot.
He was going to. CJ, you cut him off. He forgot. What the hell?
Even Glenn chimed in and saying, "What's up with this deal?"
Oh, all I was saying was that Campbell would be a good pick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel, that's why me and Mike are butting heads right now because he's got the 10th pick. Thinking Will Campbell's going to go that far. But the Patriots obviously need offensive help, offensive line, wide receivers. You got the number 4
The
pick.
Bears don't have a reason.
If Travis Hunter is not there at number 4, because don't put him at quarterback. You already got 2 good cornerbacks, right? You just got somebody that you signed, and you got Christian Gonzalez. So now put Travis Hunter at wide receiver. I feel like that's where he could be best for Drake May is at wide receiver. So if you could get him, go ahead if he's available. But if he's not available, get Will Campbell.
I've been telling Dad the whole time that I think Hunter would be better as a wide receiver in the NFL than at the cornerback position because of his build. I don't know if his body will hold up on the defensive side, having to go down and defend against the run.
Yeah.
He's not as big as some of the most of the cornerbacks in the league. Where at receiver, I think he can succeed. Plus, I think he can make more money.
Yeah, definitely, and his size and speed too. It works out with the wide receiver.
Yep.
Plus, in college, his how would I say this? His main highlights were more of a wide receiver than it was as a cornerback. So I feel like put him at wide receiver if he comes to New England. I feel like if anybody else drafts him, they're going to put him at corner.
And and this is no disrespect to him because he's a great player, but can he defend the top wide receivers? Because when he was playing at Colorado, like we pointed out earlier, they weren't going against Ohio State and these guys that had the top wide receivers in the country are going to be in the NFL. So at corner, would he be able to cover them guys? At receiver, I think he can get open against them top guys, but I don't know about covering some of them guys, and we haven't got to see him against that kind of competition.
Yeah. I mean, Frankie, for your team, I mean, I know you guys want to get that top spot. You want to get that one top player, but I feel like you guys have a lot of needs on that team. Wouldn't it be better maybe to trade out and get some picks and then go maybe get other players, especially like for that O line?
I mean, I could see. See, it's like a 50-50 for me, right? Because I'm a fan, but I'm also trying to think as a fan of football, right? As a fan of the New England Patriots, I want to keep that number 4 pick. I want to get that guy that, you know, that secondary, or not that secondary, but the second guy next to Drake May that they, you know, they could build a connection and be together. And I want that guy to be a protector for Drake May. So I want to go offensive line. But as a fan of football, I can see that happening, right? I can see them trading them number 4 pick, buffing up their, you know, their draft capital for not just this year, but next year, because this is a number 4 pick. It's not like Logan with a number 6 or number 10 with the Bears or anything like that. Like, you could get good, solid amount of picks for this pick. So as a football fan, I could see that happening. But as a Patriots fan, Jay, I don't want that happening. I want to get that offensive lineman.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. I think offensive lineman is probably your biggest need right now, more so than wide receiver ever is. You know, you got to get them. That's what made the Eagles so good, was they were great in the trenches on both sides of the ball. And that's what you guys need to be more focused on.
I mean, and don't get me wrong, I don't know if any of you guys, you know, seen any Patriot games this past year or whatever. And then this is going to everybody, not just a single person that, you know, want to, you know, you can cut me off and, you know, say that I'm wrong or whatever. But I feel like with what we had at receivers, Drake May, you know, he built a connection with them. You know, we got Kendrick Bourne, Demario Douglas was looking good. You know, there's a lot of there's wide receivers that were playing well for Drake May. The only problem was Drake May had to rush those passes because we didn't have anybody to protect him. So I feel like if you could get people to protect Drake May, the wide receivers, and they're young players. So the wide receivers that we got, except for Kendrick Bourne, the wide receivers that we got, it don't bother me. I feel like Drake May could work well with them. And mind you, we have good 2 tight ends. We just re-signed Austin Hooper to a year, and we still have Hunter Henry. So the tight ends are good. The wide receivers are young, and they built a connection with Drake May. They looked good last year. It's the offensive line that's my main priority.
Yeah, and you know, we'll see what happens. But man, it's been a busy day of free agency. This kind of all just kind of came out of nowhere. Like you said, nothing is officially, you know, ink is dry on the contract till Wednesday. So that's going to be telling to see if any of these deals fall through. Because let's also not forget physicals.
Real quick.
That could also be a factor.
Drew Dahlman signs with the Bears on a 3-year deal with the Chicago Bears. So they add more keeps getting added to them.
Jay, that was the center that we were talking about earlier.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm sorry. I missed that part. But, yeah.
That was the guy that was from the Falcons, right?
Yep, he was with the Falcons.
Yeah. No, I'm sorry.
Another Joe Biden
moment. Okay.
Say it again, Chris. Say it again.
Another Joe Biden moment.
No, it's Jay Biden.
Also, a Big Glenn chiming in with a little bit of extra news here. He said, Christopher Bell, repeat winner in NASCAR. I did see that yesterday. He won 3. Hell, great start to the season. 3 straight wins. Looking for 4 for Christopher Bell. Won it by, I believe it was 49 hundredths of a second. Some very close race. But of course, Big Glenn is our NASCAR insider here and all things racing. So he's got all that covered. We appreciate it, Glenn.
I don't give a damn. Unless Bubba Wallace wins, then let me know. Other than that, I don't give a damn.
I don't think he did too hot yesterday. I think he finished late.
I don't care.
Kind of
Bubba Wallace is never going to finish first. All right, he's never going to finish first, and I'm stuck with it.
I also see I don't know if this guy's well known or not. I don't know O-linemen like that, but I see the Jaguars have reached an agreement with former Ravens offensive lineman Patrick McCarry. Any y'all know?
That's weird. I don't know that name at all.
He's available.
Let me see. Who is Patrick McCarry? He's 27. He's been in the league since 2019. Obviously, there's no stats on O-lineman. He played in 17 games. He started for 17 games last year, but picked up a starter for the Ravens. So, okay. So they picked that up. I mean, look, Jacksonville's not making an earth-shattering move, but they're signing a bunch of dudes because they have all that cap space. They're just kind of, you know, they're putting Band-Aids on giant holes right now, I think, to see what'll fit and what won't. But they're trying some. He said Pascal Siakam had a Biden moment in Atlanta. Yeah, oh my God. I saw that the other day. He said they were down by 3. He went for a dunk with like 3 seconds left. I said, thanks for the win, buddy. Appreciate it.
Yeah. So real quick, I just saw this. Jameis Winston looks like he's in talks with possibly the 49ers and also the San Diego Chargers. He's just going to be a backup quarterback. I don't know how that really helps him. If I was him, I think I'd probably just stay with Cleveland.
If Cleveland even wants him, they might not.
I mean, they might
Hey,
as well.
let me ask
right?
you this, Dad. Would you rather have Jameis Winston or Daniel Jones?
Jameis Winston, and he throws 40
Yeah,
interceptions a year.
He gets 40 touchdowns.
True.
He'll get you touchdowns, or you just get you a bunch of picks too.
Yeah,
Tony.
it just cancels each other out.
Tony, Chris,
Yeah, exactly. See?
would you bring back Jacoby Brissett?
No.
Oh God, I haven't heard that name in years.
That was a quick no, Tony. Like you didn't even think
That was
about it.
very
Like,
quick
that was
As
quick.
if he were just bringing back as backup, yes, but not.
They're
It's
saying
not
they're-
bring him in to be in competition.
Yeah, they're saying they're wanting to bring somebody in for competition. Well, we're starting to run out of people. So
From the way it was sounding, it sounds like it's going to be probably be Daniel Jones.
I don't. Is Daniel Jones going to be a starter this year?
Probably
Because I
not.
see some people thinking that.
Jay,
I
we
don't
know.
understand
But
it.
I guess
Jay, we know. Hold on,
mean,
guys. Jay, we know you got to head out. I don't mean to cut you guys off. Jay, do you want to say any final thoughts before you head out?
Oh no, yeah, I got it, man. The parents are here, but no, I just wanted to say it's
Hey.
a hell of a good time, man. Free agency is going crazy, man, and yeah, go Cowboys. I'll have a good one. I'll catch
Go
y'all on
Cowboys.
Tuesday.
All right,
Get
Talk to you
out of
later,
here,
man.
Get out of here with your go Cowboy. They ain't doing nothing. They're re-signing long snappers. Go Cowboys.
I got him. I got him out. It's all good. It's all good.
He gonna come back tomorrow. He gonna come back tomorrow. Like, man, did you see that? We just re-signed someone on the special teams.
what was funny, we talked about the Bears for like 20 minutes, and then all of a sudden he thought he was breaking news.
I don't know
Don't-
who he's following. I don't know who he's following, but his sources are either late or fake.
Oh yeah. I look, man. And let me just say this about the Falcons. Talking about Dalvin being here in Atlanta, the spirit is an all-time low. I can attest. The people I've talked to, our hearts are broken, our wills are crushed. There's no motivation going into this season. You've got the most expensive backup quarterback in the world in Kirk Cousins. You haven't done a lick of anything in free agency. You've released Grady Jarrett, who was a nominee for the Walter Payton Man of the Year award, who everyone loved, was a well-known, just figure in the city, and he signed no one. I mean, I know they're strapped with a little bit of money, but jeez, it's rough down here. I can tell you that from coworkers and friends alike. It ain't like it's a big party out here in Atlanta.
So
Hey, where's Zeke Elliott gonna go? That's a big question. Where's Zeke gonna go? Frankie, you want him back home in New England?
hell no, he go right back to Dallas. Obviously, he loves
That's
Dallas.
they took him back. They didn't want him again.
That's what I'm saying. Here are the top remaining or available top remaining. I don't know why I keep saying remaining.
Free
They're not
agents.
remaining. There's a lot of other people, but top available free agent wide receivers as of now: Amari Cooper, former team Buffalo Bills; Stephon Diggs,
Oh,
former team Houston Texans; Darius Slayton, former team the Giants; Mike Williams, former Charger but now former Steeler; Elijah Moore from the Cleveland Browns; Keenan Allen, former Charger, now former Bear; DeAndre Hopkins, former Chiefs; and Tyler Lockett, former Seattle Seahawks. Any names come out to you guys and where you guys think before we head out where it might go?
I would be okay. Also, I'd be okay with Lockett. By the way, Tony and Chris, y'all the mics are muted, but real quick, I think Tyler Lockett would be good in Vegas for a good depth wide receiver piece. I would be okay with that.
I seen a report that they thought that Diggs was going to stay with the Texans.
Take a friendly deal.
Yep, that's what I'd heard, but I mean it hadn't been signed yet. But that's what I had heard.
Oh, also, hold on. Late breaking news here. We just mentioned Grady Jarrett. Just give me a second here. Let me pull up the post so I can tell you guys where he's going to. One second. Hold on here. 1 second. He got released a couple hours ago, and now he's got a new home. Say it with me, everyone. With the Chicago Bears. 3 years, $43.5 million with 28.5 fully guaranteed. Chicago We said they made the moves on the O-line. Now they're working on the D-line. Guys, let's get our initial thoughts.
Not messing around.
No, they're not
I
messing
mean, I
around.
like how Ben Johnson. I like how Ben Johnson and the GM there in Chicago are building that team. They're building it at the line of scrimmage, and I mean,
Yep.
that's how you win championships is with your defensive line and offensive line.
Frankie?
I'm just getting tired of seeing every post come up about the Bears signing someone.
Yeah, the Bears and the Jaguars, it feels.
I mean,
Patriots.
I understand that they had the highest cap. I think it was like 2 years ago or last year, and they didn't spend it all. They had some money, and they doubled up with this year's cap. But like, when are they gonna run out? Damn it! Like, this is insane.
It's all that deferred money.
No, they don't do deferred in
Yeah.
NFL. I hope they don't do deferred in NFL. That'll be insane to me.
God, that would be. Oh, but yeah, a little bit of late breaking news to end the show there. I think that's good. That's a good stopping point. I think, and obviously we'll see what all else comes throughout the rest of the day. But man, it's been busy just the first day. I mean, we've broke about 10 signings on the air.
Day's
As well
not
as
even
all the
over,
others.
Logan. Day's not even
Exactly.
over. It's been a busy 3.5 hours.
How about to say, yeah, we really since noon is when it all kicked off. I mean, we didn't even get a chance to talk about all the other deals that were made. I mean, J.C. Horn re-signed with the Panthers for that big $100 million contract. Obviously, that means they entrust him to kind of be the captain out there on the defense. So that was another big move. But
Tampa Bay
I mean, it was just
Tampa Bay keeping Chris Godwin, who the Patriots are actually trying
Yeah.
so hard to get. The Patriots are actually, I kept getting news about it, that the Patriots are pushing aggressively to get Chris Godwin, not even caring if he was going to start off the season hurt or whatever. They were pushing hard to get Chris Godwin, but he ended up signing a 3-year deal to return to Tampa Bay. And that's not only what Tampa Bay did. Tampa Bay brought in Hassan Reddick for a year. So Tampa Bay doing something on offense and defense. There's a lot going on. A lot going on. But if you're watching the show, because we're going to get off soon, if you're watching the show, please follow, like, share our stream, go on Twitter our Twitter. I don't say X. The hell with Elon Musk. I don't say X. Go to Twitter, and we will keep you updated all day on all the free agent signings from your boy, Frankie Scheffner.
Frankie Scheffner.
oh man,
Got Jay
also
Biden and Frankie Scheffner.
Jay Biden, yeah. Real quick before we get out here, former 49ers guard Aaron Banks expected to sign with the Green Bay Packers. Don't have any terms of a deal, but San Francisco now loses a guard who's going out there to Green Bay. So one last sign, we'll get out of here before we get out of here. Sound good?
Yep.
All right, Tony, Chris, you guys got anything going on tonight? Any interviews, any shows, or y'all just kind of relaxed on this
Yes,
Monday?
it's Monday. It's the wrestling show. What the hell?
Yeah, we got a show tonight,
Exactly.
6:30.
Got a teaser.
Yep. Should be real good. We're gonna have a owner of WCWO, Joey Owens, on talking about they're gonna be at Comic-Con. We'll be there too, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So we'll have him on and have another wrestling guest on a rapid fire segment. So it should be a good show.
Yeah, should be a real good show. It's 6:30, 6:35, somewhere around 6:30.
Hey Frankie, did you watch any AEW last night?
I did watch some. It was an absolute amazing show, except for the main event. I feel like Edge and John Moxley could have did a little bit better, or they should have, not make that type of match, because they, this has been going on for months, and I feel like with the way it was looking, with Edge taking out each member of Moxley's stable except for Wheeler Yuta, they should have built that up to being at least a street fight or no disqualification or something that's gonna, involve weapons, and they didn't. How do you have the whole match be, or the whole pay-per-view be amazing, right? You got females bleeding. You got Will Ospreay. Yes, that match was absolutely amazing. You got Will Ospreay in a cage match with Kyle Fletcher or whatever his name is.
Yep,
going at it.
They had an amazing match. What do you call it? Kenny Omega had a great match. Like every
Won the
match,
title.
every
That's
match
true.
was amazing except for the main event. They finished out, and don't get me wrong, the match was great. Once Christian came in with the contract, I felt like, okay, the crowd is awake now. Is Christian gonna win the title? Because I was even like, oh my God, Christian Cage is gonna be world champion again. Like finally, no.
Nope.
He ends up getting
Psych.
taken out quick by John Moxley.
And the crowd wasn't happy.
Yeah, They weren't happy. That's not how you end a show. And this is exactly why I always say I haven't watched Dynamite in a while. I haven't watched Collision. I don't watch the pay-per-views, but for some reason I wanted to watch last night because I thought, Edge was going to be champion or something like that. So I wanted to watch it. I was a little into it at first. I'm like, wow, this pay-per-view is actually good with all the other matches. Main event come around, and I'm just like, this is why AEW cannot compete with WWE, because you do not have a main event like this and it be boring.
I watched
You
one
can't have-
match, and it was that women's match. And I told Dad after that women's match, I said that should have been the main event.
Should have been the main
Yeah.
event because the story that's been going on for a year.
Yeah,
Yep,
it really
and that
should
was
have.
it was a good one. And also, I see here it's nothing official, but it's just a rumor, so it could happen, could not. But we talked about Russell Wilson. Now there's rumors floating around. He could sign with the Tennessee Titans, and just end his career on a flat note.
I could see that happening. That
What
makes
about
sense.
Tennessee?
That makes sense.
Tennessee's got a boatload of money.
Not only that, they're done with Will Levis.
Oh yeah. Hey, look, man, I was done with Will Levis when I
At
learned
least
he
we
put
didn't take
mayonnaise.
Levis, but I don't know if we got much better yet or
I
not.
don't know.
You know what I could
That
see
could
happening?
happen.
What I could see happening is just Russell Wilson going to Tennessee and Tennessee trading away Will Levis to the Giants.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to say
Ooh.
to the Colts. I was getting ready to go, whoa.
I was gonna say
Yeah,
go Bears.
No, I wouldn't disrespect you guys that bad.
Yeah.
That's worse than
got
Daniel
me
Jones.
mentioned.
Also, the Aaron Banks the trade that I just announced, or the signing, it's the terms of that deal is going to be 4 years for $77 million. So the Packers are picking up another O lineman for a couple of years. So we'll see how that goes. But Frankie, do me a favor, my friend. Let's get the show outro here and get us on out of here.
Yeah, we want to thank everybody for watching today's stream. Crazy NFL free agency start. Like I said, go on our Twitter. We'll make more news for you guys if you guys to keep updated. But from your boy Frankie C, Tony, Chris, we want to thank Jay for coming on, and Logan Landers. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll catch you guys tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern time here on ESEN.